Hey, welcome, folks. It's Bob and Tony. We're the Golf Gurus, and we're here for the 2024 Masters Preview. This is brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company for sports bettors, and we're going to be using the OddsJam tools. We're going to go ahead and line shop, show you some things here. It's very, very cool, and I'll tell you what, you're looking at two guys that got 7 outrights this year so far. So what are we up, about 46 units, almost 47?
Yeah, almost 47 units so far this season, and it's not even mid-April yet, so we haven't even hit our first major yet. So that's what this preview video is for. We're going to give you some ideas of guys that we like this week, and then of course join that free trial that the Golf Gurus have, and those will give you all of our official picks.
And that will be in the link below in the description, folks. I'll make sure that that's in there. I do want to tell you one thing. This is great to be able to go to OddsJam, go ahead and click on the trophy, go to the Masters, and right here is where you will find places to go for winners and top 5s and top 10s, top 20s, top 30s. We're not going to be giving out any picks here. We're just going to talk about people that we like. And Tony, I'm going to start off with you. We're going to start off with the faves, okay? And, obviously Scotty, Rory, Rahm, Schauffele, which, by the way, this would be Rahm's first 72-hole tournament of the year. And also, this is the anniversary of our first outright as the Golf Gurus, with Jon Rahm winning the Masters last year.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting with Rahm playing a little bit more golf than he is. But, I mean, I still like him a little bit up there at the top. I mean, of course, Scotty with just some ridiculous odds there as your favorite. Yeah. But he is the best golfer in the world. So if you are putting together a card, I don't see how you can't add Scotty in there in any finishing position, whether that's outright 5, 10, or if you want to even sprinkle enough juice on the 10s and the 20s. But Scotty's definitely going to have a great tournament. I mean, Rahm and Rory up there as well, both highly up there on my model as well. So, I mean, the top guys, 1, 2, 3, I think you could pick any of them, whether you like any of the value, and you might hit right there.
And, Xander's got to be considered a favorite too. Top 4. They're all under plus 2,000. At plus 1,400, Xander's got to be considered. When we go to the next tier of golfers, we've got Brooks Koepka, who is, my God, how many times has he finished in the top 5 in majors? Matsuyama, who's won this tournament before and is playing good golf. Jordan Spieth, who's, his game's up and down this year. Joaquin Niemann, who we've got 2 outrights on the Live Tour. And then Ludwig Oberg at plus 3,300. I'm liking Brooks and Hideki. I'm not really feeling Jordan Spieth a lot this week.
Yeah, out of that little range that you spoke of right there, I definitely like Hideki, just by the way he's been playing so far this season. I mean, already with a title this year, and with the Masters a couple years ago. I mean, everybody remembers with his caddy bowing to the flag at the end, which was awesome. And that was actually the day my daughter was born 3 years ago, the Masters Hideki Sunday. So I'll always remember that. And then I like Brooks. I like Brooks, of course, as well. I mean, it is going to be his first time playing 72 holes, just like Rahm. But Brooks in a major, I mean, anywhere around that top 5, top 10, you can't really go wrong. With Spieth, I just have no read on him lately. I mean, he could come out here and get a top 5 finish, or he could miss the cut with the way he's been playing. So I'm not going to be touching Spieth this week. I don't think either. But yeah, I mean, Joaquin Niemann, two outright winners already on Live. You gotta love him. But another guy who's going to be playing 72 for the first time. So some interesting names there in the mid-range as well.
One thing I do want to point out is Jon Rahm has said, he doesn't like, he'd rather play 72 holes than 54 in the tournament. So, we'll see what happens with Liv. This next group is the 4,000 club, because there's actually 5 guys that are at plus 4,000, and then we'll get into the plus 4,500s, the plus 5,000s too. But that 4,000 club's got DeChambeau, Hovland, Fitzpatrick, Cantlay, and Finau, and that's a hell of a group there. We remember a few years ago, DeChambeau, they were talking about how he was just going to kill this golf course with his driving. Boy, that went to hell, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'm not sure I'm really a fan of Bryson this week either. I'm not sure that I'm going to have him on any of my cards. It's interesting to see Hovland all the way down there. I mean, he's one of the best golfers in the world, and to get him at that value is pretty interesting. I'm not sure with the way he's been playing. He's high on my model this week. But, I mean, you can't hate a golfer that's one of the best in the world down there in the mid-range at plus 4,000. But a guy I do like out of the 5 you just said, maybe not to win outright, but I do have him up there in my model, is Tony Finau. I think he's going to have a good week. So if you put Finau in one of your finishing positions there, I don't think you'll go wrong with Tony having a solid week.
I'm surprised that Justin Thomas is this far rated up here with him getting rid of Bone Johnson being the same odds as Will Z. That's kind of surprising, considering that we know what Dustin Johnson can do at Augusta. This next group, though, I'm Cam Smith being down here just surprises the heck out of me, but he's not having a great year. And another guy that I'm surprised at, 2 guys being down this low, are Morikawa and Young and Thigala. And let's not forget Shane Lowry. He's dangerous, man.
Yeah, how awesome are the Masters? I mean, and all these majors. I mean, you're getting some of these golfers at this number. It's just insane. Just like you said, Cam Smith, the reason why he's at that number is probably because he just hasn't played much and hasn't played well when he has played. So we're not really sure how he's doing this season. Morikawa, I mean, he looked like one of the next future stars of the sport. He just hasn't really put it together. But you got to kind of like him to pull some things around maybe this week at that number. And then Cam Young, I mean, I do like Cam Young in maybe a finishing position this week, depending on the value and where you can get him. So a lot of value down there. And yep, Shane Lowry seems like one of those veteran golfers who out of nowhere could come and win a major. So I don't think I'm gonna put any outright on Shane Lowry, but I mean, if you're a Lowry fan, he does seem like one of those guys who could come out of nowhere and surprise some people this week.
Now let's go to the heavier odds here with Hatton, Henley, Kim, Brian Harmon, the what do they call that? The golfer of the year with the British Open win. Corey Connors, Jason Day. Hey, Patrick Reed. And let me tell you something. When Patrick Reed goes to Augusta, anything can happen. He can pull some magic out there. And as we keep on going down, you're looking at Adam Scott, a former champion, the previous tournament winner on the PGA Tour. Akshay, plus 10,000. Anything can happen, man. And Sungjae Im, who has competed very well in this tournament, plus 12,000. Sergio, a former Masters champion, plus 12,500. And there's Tiger at plus 15,000. Wow. There are some interesting odds here. Oh, man, if you got somebody down there, you could really make some money this week.
Yeah, and this is the range where you want to probably look for your top 20 bets, because these are where these guys are going to be probably around the plus 150, plus 200, plus 250, plus 300 range for top 20, which is really nice. And that's where we've gotten really lucky on a lot of our, well, I mean, not lucky, but our skilled golf gurus picks this year, putting a full unit on our top 20. So, I mean, with some guys down there, you got to love Connors and the way he's been playing. A couple other guys you mentioned. I mean, Akshay winning last week for his second title, and then to put him into the Masters. I mean, just an exciting young golfer who's dominated every single league he's played in, dominated high school, and then went straight to pro, dominated the Korn Ferry Tour, dominated the Walker Cup. So Akshay and a lefty. Hey, you gotta love Akshay. So a little sprinkle on an Akshay top 20 maybe wouldn't hurt. I don't think I will be betting on Tiger, even though I love him. We are the golf gurus, and we do bet with our heads and not our hearts.
Not our hearts.
So I probably won't be.
Let's hang on here a second. We're talking about an old guy who, he finished third last year. What about Phil? I mean, Phil is never out of this tournament, okay? He loves this tournament, and I know he hasn't played worth a damn this year. That's why he's at plus 27,000. But I got to be honest with you. I don't know if I personally can leave Phil off of my scorecard. I may make him top 30. I don't know. But you know what? Don't be surprised if come Sunday, he's hovering around somewhere.
If you want to put a top 30 or something out there, that's all for you. I only go all the way up to top 20s.
Right.
But, I mean, just look at some of the names down there that are right around Phil. I mean, EVR, Eric Van Ruin, having a great season. The exact opposite of Phil Mickelson. I mean, Matthew Pavone, the exact opposite of Phil Mickelson, playing great golf. Nikolai Hogard actually was kind of high on one of my models that I ran.
Right.
I mean, Eckroat has been playing some good golf. So I mean, I don't know about Mickelson down there, but Jake Knapp, who's already won once this year. I mean, these numbers for if you're looking for a 30 or a top 40, or you're looking for maybe some matchup bets throughout the week. Some of those guys down there that have already won this year and won last year, put those guys in. That doesn't sound too bad to me, but I'm not sure about Philly boy.
Well, I know. And you weren't sure. Hey, let me tell you something. You know what? When you weren't sure about Phil last year, neither one of us were. We missed the boat. Okay, so don't be surprised. I'm just saying, if he makes the cut,
what's a Phil top 10 at?
Oh, let's go look here real quick. Let's go do that. By the way, folks, go to this drop down here and let's find top 10 and let's go find Mr. Mickelson.
So this is how you can go and see different odds and different finishing positions. So we'll put out outrights, top 5s, top 10s, and top 20s. I'm not saying we're putting out a Phil Mickelson top 10, but this is how you can go and see the difference in odds.
Dude, a Phil top 10 is plus 1,200, okay? A Phil top 20, which is the place that if I put any money on him, this is where I'm going to put money on him.
You would go to 20? You wouldn't stick at 30? You would go all the way to 20?
I might go to, it's plus 450, dude. I think Phil has, there's something about the Masters that brings out the best in him. Okay?
I don't hate it. I'm not betting it, but I don't hate it.
All right. Let's talk about something else that we weren't planning on talking about, but I'm going to whip it on you right now. Players to make the cut.
I got a couple.
Okay, give me a couple. To miss
Let's
the
see.
cut.
Let's start. Well, are we doing to make the cut or to miss the cut?
Well, to make the cut, we really got to have some good odds.
Well, let's look around plus 100 because you don't want to give out too much under like minus 150, minus 125.
Jake Knapp, no. Gary Woodland, no. Tiger Woods, yes.
I'd probably say around 100 there. Looking at that, I'd see. I don't like any of those.
Cam Davis not to make the cut. Mickelson to make the cut is plus 116.
You can throw that in there as a free pick for this video. Phil Mickelson to make the cut on FanDuel plus 116. There you go, people.
There we go, right there. That's great. All right, folks, you know what? that is our video for the Masters. We just had to put this out, get a little excited, get on the Golf Gurus, man. Go and subscribe, do the free trial. You're going to get a free trial for the Masters. I'm going to tell you, this is probably the last time that we're going to do a free trial for the majors. From now on, the majors are probably going to be their own separate thing, okay? So I'm just telling you, if you want to get in there, you better get in there now, all right? Good job, Tony. You know what? I'll see you on the putting green.
See you at the window.
Well, at the window, but you need work on your putting, you know.
I do.